Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video I'm going to be doing a book review for you, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is White Cat, which is written by Holly Black. So White Cat was my very first Holly Black book that I've ever read, and I just have to say firstly that her writing style, oh my goodness, wow, it's so good and amazing. You know, there's a difference between in writing when an author is telling you what happens and when an author is showing you what happens. And I feel like Holly Black's writing style is like that, like the latter. She shows you what is happening in this world, in the story. She's showing you what the characters are going through, and oh my goodness. And then there's just, you know, just undertones in her writing just that kind of just make your heart go pitter-patter, make you think like, what's gonna happen next? Holly Black's writing style in this book, oh my goodness, it's amazing. It just made me love the book that much more. So now that I've told you that, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about the premises of this book, White Cat. Interesting title, but after you read the book, it totally makes sense. So in this world, there are people called curse workers or just workers. And these people have these special abilities. It's magic, but it's not called that. Depending on their ability, they can either change your emotions, give you dreams or nightmares. They can, you know, change your appearance, change your memories, just all these different things that they can do with just a slightest touch of a hand. And in this world, working someone, which is when a curse worker uses their abilities on someone else, is illegal. And because of this, there is a lot of discrimination against people that have these abilities, and a lot of different laws and stuff that's just building up in the government and all this other stuff. And just because of the social and government laws and all this other stuff, I personally feel like what has caused these people that have these abilities to be mainly associated with crime. So you have con artists or mobsters and that kind of thing. So our main character and narrator is Cassel, and Cassel comes from a curse worker family, and he is very unique in the sense that out of everyone in his family, he is not a curse worker. And so he's kind of the odd man out. He feels like he's left out of just on things that are going on, and he feels like it's because he doesn't have it's because he's different from everyone and he doesn't have the abilities so like everyone else, so he just gets left out of just different things. And the only thing that's different about Cassel is that 3 years ago, so some interesting information about Cassel's family is that he is in a family of con artists. His mentality and how he sees the world is very much associated with being a con artist, what you would do to a mark, the reasons why you don't trust people, the reasons why you do this or that. And it's really interesting. Even though that he feels like he's left out on a lot of different things with his family, even though that he's not a worker, he is a pretty good con artist. So in the beginning of the book, Cassel finds himself waking up from a crazy dream about a white cat, and he finds himself on the roof of his dormitory, and he's not really sure how he got there. He's pretty positive that he was sleepwalking. So after a very embarrassing rescue from the roof, his school tells him like, hey, you know, we think you're trying to kill yourself, so you know, you need to go to the doctor until we get a note from the doctor saying you're good, this won't happen again, you're gonna have to go home because you can't stay on campus. So when Cassel goes home, he of course has more interaction with his family members, and Cassel gets the feeling that his two older brothers are trying to con him in some kind of way. He's like, yeah, no, I gotta figure out what's going down and just out con these guys. So yeah, that's pretty much where the rest of the story is, where he's trying to figure out what's going on, and then once he finds that out, he's like, okay, we gotta do something about this because wow. And so there are moments in the book where he's like, yes, I got this, everything's going good. But then there are other moments in the book where he's like, yeah, not really sure if I'm gonna make it out of this. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I just want to give you guys the premise of the story in this series in the book, because this book, to me, is sort of like a thriller, and it's written so beautifully. It's like a great movie where when you're reading it, you're constantly trying to figure out, there's so many twists and turns and developments where you're just trying to figure out what's going to happen next, how's this going to play, what are these people going to try to do, and at the end it's just crazy. I know that I really enjoyed just going through that whole process of reading this book and then getting to the end and just being like, dang, that was so good. If I gave you guys anything more than the premise, I feel like you would have clues, and those clues would ruin it for you, and I don't want to take that away from you because it's so good. So pretty much I'm just gonna say that you guys need to read this. It's just so amazing. It's just a combination of magic, mobsters, con artists, just thrillerness. So from the very first page to the very last, it's just one of those books that keeps you interested, on the edge of your seat, just wanting to figure out what's going to happen, and it's so good. So I'm just going to tell you guys, you need to read this if you haven't read it, and it's really great. So with all that being said, I give White Cat by Holly Black 4.5 stars out of 5. It was really, really good, you guys. You need to read this if you haven't. It's amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. I really appreciate it. I know that your time is valuable, and I hope that you found this video and review helpful, and I hope that you will give this book a try. So until I see you guys next time, happy reading and peace out, Girl Scouts.